VIP styling on a Nissan Sentra? Why not? Let's try it out. So of course we're gonna throw this thing into Photoshop, and the first thing I always have to do is separate the car from the background. I'm gonna use the quick select tool here in Photoshop and let the AI kind of grab that. And then of course I'm gonna separate the body from the wheels and tires, because the first thing that I want to do on this build is going to be to lower this thing down to the ground. Of course, VIP builds are known for being slammed, usually being on bags, some pretty crazy wheels. So we're definitely going to address the wheels. And then we're going to make this thing look like something special, which it already does. So I think that's the cool thing with what Nissan is styling with the new Sentra, is that especially in the SL package, it's a pretty handsome looking car. But then, of course, there are the wheels. And I think when they got to the wheels, of course, they had to go with something that was more universally acceptable, I guess, something that more people would gravitate toward. But I really kind of don't think that these wheels are doing this platform any justice. So sign of a pro, save as you go. Let's go ahead and save this guy. And then we've already got it lowered. So I think what I want to do is actually work on the body work here. And when I'm mocking up body kits in Photoshop, one of the things I love to do is just kind of block it out in a general shape. And I'll usually use whatever color I last had selected. Kind of doesn't really matter because we're going to change this all anyway. But yeah, so we're going to mock up some side skirts here. And then, of course, that back bumper, a little bit of extension I want to do. I'm not sure about this shaping on the back. I always have trouble when I go to the back of the car and look at the shaping. So I'll revisit that one. But of course, on the front, I want to extend this down as well. And I really do appreciate the lines that Nissan has created on the front of this. So this like cascading waterfall style grille, the whole front end of the car just looks really classy. And I think that's why I want to go for this VIP style build with this car. I kind of feel like the last couple of generations of the Sentra have been just kind of like almost throwaway cars, and they really are. They're just little subcompact, four-door, get around town. Of course, with Nissan's infamous CVT, which I just had to deal with my wife's Pathfinder. So we've got a 2017 Pathfinder, and the CVT blew up in it a couple of months ago. Luckily, it was still under warranty, but like, geez, this thing. And I can imagine like Nissan's been working on this technology. And of course, the one thing I do like about the CVT is it's smooth. And so that was one of the things that when I was thinking through what kind of design to do for the body kit for this particular SL model is, the fact that it rides pretty smooth as far as the CVT. And we actually had one of the previous generation Sentras as our rental car when our Pathfinder was getting fixed. And yeah, I mean, it was not a bad car at all. And so I could really see this thing kind of going to the next level. I would love to see somebody take this car in real life and do this to it. And so, that's kind of the dream anyway. Like, be able to design some cool stuff, like what the guys over at like West Coast do, and then have someone actually build it. Maybe one day I'll try to build something myself. I know that's a lot of work. And here in Photoshop, you can just kind of make stuff happen, and it's pretty cool. So there we go. And get that front lip dialed in, start to add a few of the highlights. And you saw just a little bit ago that I also added the coloring from the side of the front bumper onto that new lower lip. And it's amazing if you get the color and you get the texture right, how it looks like that body panel was just kind of always there. Now, of course, the shaping also lends itself to look like it works well with this front bumper, but like a lip kit on this kind of thing would be cool. And I want to do one on the SR spec as well, because the nameplate, I wish they would bring back the SER spec V nameplate, but they'd have to really do that thing right with a manual transmission and, like some nice Michelin's Pilot Sport cups or something on there, like some really grippy tires, and really kind of spec that thing out for like the Nürburgring. But anyway, in this one, we are going the VIP treatment. So let's move on to that side panel here and work on the side skirt. I completely I completely lost what I was talking about. And I'm going to do a similar thing to what I did on the front end. Is I'm just going to grab some of the color and texture and shadow from the actual body panel of the car, and you'll see pretty quickly that really colors out that side skirt initially really well and makes it match the tone and the feel of the rest of the car. Then there's some artistic license here, but I'm going to come back in with just my brush tool, various sizes, various opacities, various levels of just the blur effect added to it. And I'm going to come back in and just really make this thing pop, make it come alive. And I always love when there's like little details on the side skirts. And so I'm going to add this little extra bump out in like a black / kind of dark gray. What I can imagine is a dark gray plastic. And so that'll match really well to the front bumper and just kind of make it all cohesive and run together, because I think that is one thing that it's missing on the side, is kind of that tie-in to the details that's on the front of the car. Now let's move on to that back panel, and yeah, I don't know if I'm really happy with that shape, but I'm going to keep it back there. I really do think that lowering the back end, and on a VIP build, you don't really want a diffuser. You really do just want to make the car look and feel and sit as low as possible to the ground, make it really sleek, because that VIP style, it kind of calls back to an old Japanese style that the Yakuza created when they wanted to have luxurious looking cars, but they wanted to use Japanese cars. And so they would take like old Toyotas, the 4 doors, and slam them to the ground, put really expensive wheels on them, make them look like a Mercedes or something to rival one of those higher end cars, but using the Japanese market. Of course, it wouldn't be a VIP build without some super, wow, was it some duper? I don't know what that means. It wouldn't be a high-end VIP build without some super dark tinted windows. And the easiest way to do this in Photoshop, I'm going to add a shape layer to this, and then I'm going to change the layer style, find something that's, makes it pretty dark, and then probably also change the opacity a little bit. So we'll take that down, but so you can see the interior, but it really darkens it up. And then of course the next thing here is that we're going to make the B pillars really pop back out. So you don't want to lose the detail in the B pillar, but it is easier to do this all in one go, as far as all the windows on one side, and then you do a layer mask to make that all work as far as the B pillars popping back out. I already said that. It's crazy because even just lowering it, tinting the windows, you can really start to get a feel for how this new chassis, this new look, the new facelifted look of the Sentra SL could play well in this kind of VIP landscape, or even just giving it just a slammed vibe. And so I guess now we need to just pick some wheels. Of course, I already Google searched a few different wheels that could work. I really like these Work Emits wheels that Fitment Industries has on their website. So we're just going to copy, paste, and pull these over into Photoshop. And if you've never used Photoshop before, you might not understand some of the stuff I'm doing here. It's actually pretty simple to replace wheels and see what a different set of wheels would look like on your car. So if you wanted to maybe see what that looks like and learn how to actually do that, this isn't a tutorial, but I do have tutorials on the channel that'll teach you how to do that. Feel free to look those up whenever you like. Wheels are one of those things that really just kind of sets off a car. And no matter what your build is, if you're going for a track build or you're just going for a street build, you're going just for looks, for show, or in this case, very specific style, the Japanese VIP build, the wheels can really make or break what you're trying to go for as far as the vibe. So, of course, we're going to select out the negative spaces in the wheel, make sure that we get those dialed in. And then let's just see what this thing looks like with these emits wheels popped into this black frame that I just put on the car. And a quick little flip. And of course, you'll notice that in the middle, the center cap is now reversed. I am going to fix that, even though you probably would never notice if you zoomed out like that it's backwards, unless you know the emits name. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and select the center cap, and then we'll do the same thing. We'll just flip it back over, and because that center cap is so small, we don't really need to do anything else to it. Like, it kind of fits. And yeah, that's pretty sick right there. Again, wheels just make the car. And actually, on this car in particular, it's amazing how these wheels and this ride height, the stance, kind of makes those little fender flare type of body cuts that they have. It makes them look actually better, more prominent. Um, so there you go. Nissan Sentra SL as a VIP build. If any of you build this car in real life, dude, send me some photos. If you want to see other builds, other ideas that I've had on this channel, feel free to check out all the other content. I'm going to try to be better about posting content here regularly. And other than that, man, I hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a comment down below. What kind of vehicle would you like to see me Photoshop? And also just give this video a quick like and subscribe if you feel like seeing more stuff like this. I'll see you when I see you. God bless.